September 17th, 1787. Temperature dropped to 36 degrees last night, a welcome relief. Throughout the hot summer months, delegates have offered resolutions, debated them, amended them, and debated some more. Some motions passed, others failed. Their work is now done. But for the new plan to take effect, 9 of the 13 states will have to ratify it. The Constitution cannot become the law of the land until the people of the land, meeting in special state conventions, have granted their consent. Yet first, before the nation's people grant or withhold their consent, each delegate must decide whether he will affix his signature to this crucial founding document. Refusal is possible, but most approve and sign on. James Wilson, who first suggested a single executive officer. Both Robert Morris, the richest man in America, and Roger Sherman, once a lowly cobbler. Alexander Hamilton, who departed back in July, but has just returned for the final week of deliberations. James Madison, chief architect of checks and balances. These and most other framers will soon be celebrated by patriotic artists. But where's George Mason, Washington's close friend and political mentor? Why is he not honored? George Mason is present on this final day, but he refuses to sign. He is understandably upset. Just 5 days earlier, when he proposed a Bill of Rights, not a single state delegation voted in his favor. He also pushed for an executive council rather than a single chief executive, but to no avail. The president has no constitutional council, a thing unknown in any safe and regular government. He will therefore be unsupported by proper information and advice, and will generally be directed by minions and favorites. The President of the United States has the unrestrained power of granting pardons for treason, which may sometimes be exercised to screen from punishment those whom he had secretly instigated to commit the crime, and thereby prevent a discovery of his own guilt. Disappointed by these serious oversights, Mason departs Philadelphia in a foul mood, and things don't get any better. On his way back home, his carriage turns over. He writes to his neighbor, George Washington, "I got very much hurt in my neck and head by the unlucky accident on the road." In this same letter, Mason encloses a list of 15 specific complaints about the proposed Constitution. They include: there is no Declaration of Rights, no declaration for preserving the liberty of the press, nor against the danger of standing armies in time of peace. Mason soon publishes these objections in the Virginia Journal. Other newspapers reprint them, and they go viral, as we say today. Meanwhile, other writers publish feisty arguments in favor of the new Constitution, and they too go viral. So begins a grand national debate between Federalists who support the new Constitution and anti-Federalists like Mason who oppose it. There are at least 95 newspapers throughout the United States. Tempers flare in the press as they do today on the internet. The Massachusetts Sentinel reports, "Newspapers are more read at this time than the Bible." The celebrated Federalist Papers, 85 essays composed by Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay, under the pen name Publius, are best known today, but not at that time. Some 250 essays by other authors enjoyed a wider circulation. And book sales of the collected essays were dismal, only 500 copies printed, with many of these left unsold. And here's another little-known fact. The title, Federalist Papers, did not appear until 173 years later. This is the original title page. But in 1961, the New American Library, under its Mentor imprint, placed Federalist Papers on the cover. "Good reading for the millions" was Mentor's slogan, so that long and cumbersome subtitle just had to go. Today, these essays are cited often by Supreme Court justices to explain what the Constitution really means in cases before them. But in ratification times, with a vote on the Constitution in the offing, persuasion was the name of the game. Whether you're for or against ratification, you try to convince others to agree with you. And print is not the only venue. In this highly democratic moment, debate rages across the country in town meetings and county conventions and state conventions. The fate of the Constitution is in the people's hands now. A fully engaged citizenry argues over the same issues the framers faced. Are states ceding too much power to this new federal government? Folks in Delaware do not like Virginia having so much say in the House of Representatives, while Virginians complain that tiny Delaware will have the same number of senators as they do. Counting slaves as 3/5 of a person when deciding each state's representation in Congress? Nobody is particularly happy with that one. And what's with this novel elector scheme for choosing the president? Why no Declaration of Rights? Spoiler alert, the Constitution can be amended and will be shortly. In this grand national debate, Federalists and Anti-Federalists go head-to-head in taverns and even tussle in the streets. In Albany, New York, when Anti-Federalists burnt the Constitution, Federalists soon gathered to oppose them. After a few words, a general battle took place with swords, bayonets, clubs, stones, etc. It lasted for some time, both parties fighting with greatest rage and determined obstinacy, till at last the Anti-Federalists, being overpowered by numbers, retreated. In each state, a special convention will determine whether that state ratifies the proposed Constitution or not. And remember, it takes 9 of the 13 states to activate the Constitution. One by one, returns trickle in. Delaware, the smallest, ratifies first. Pennsylvania, which hosted the Constitutional Convention, is next. Then New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. A grand federal edifice is under construction. Maryland, South Carolina, and on June 21st, 1788, 9 months after the convention adjourned, a normal gestation for humans, New Hampshire, the 9th state, makes it official. Our new nation has a constitution. And the remaining 4 states will soon join in. Virginia, New York, North Carolina, and finally, Rhode Island. United we stand, divided we fall. A dream fulfilled, the United States of America. Here shall the arts in glorious splendor shine, and agriculture give her stores divine. Commerce refined dispenses more than gold, and this new world teach wisdom to the old. Religion here shall fix her blessed abode, arrayed in mildness like its parent God. Justice and law shall endless peace maintain, and the Saturnian age return again. This is our nation, who we aspire to be as a people. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. We have lived by this Constitution for 237 years. Can we, will we, stay true to this ideal?